Hello everybody, it's Diane, Lucky Gardenia, Dashboard Confessional. And yes, this is coming to you by Just Got My Haircut Diaries. First off, Elvis is in the building, so we're good to go. And I know I say this every time I do one of these, but I had like 3 hours of sleep. This is kind of wonky. So this is all not looking right, but if I didn't videotape this now, it probably wouldn't happen. So I thought something's better than nothing, and then I actually jotted down some topics. It's like, what am I going to even talk about? And I left them at my house, but I guess we will start off with, it is, I believe, October 21st. This is my outfit of the day. Sorry guys. Got a little camo going, so I had to throw on a little orange or melon just to highlight or have a contrast there. And of course, you can't see it, but I've got on matching, not camo pants, but just the olive green. They're cute. They got some bows on them. Capris. And then I've got on my orange Converse. So, actually tried to get dressed up a little bit just so I can make this video for y'all. So, anyway, forgive all this, but I will get to the few topics I have to talk about. First off, just a really funny one. And I parked a different way so I wouldn't interrupt the postman. And he actually got here before I did, because my appointment was a little bit later. So that worked out well. And then I was mentioning something to Laura, my hairstylist. She's beyond a hairdresser. She's actually a friend. And she's like, Patrick, her husband had said, I wonder if something's wrong with Diane out there. And I'm like, oh my God. Laura's like, she would call us if there was a problem. And I'm like, no, I'm just doing my haircut diaries. And so Laura, if you're watching, now that you know that I talk about you, I was out shopping and I was totally, it was beyond bedhead. Actually, someone stopped me and asked me who cut my hair and wanted her contact information. And that was on a bad day. But I did put on my turquoise. I don't know if you can see. I do like that turquoise. And some earrings. But let me get back to this so I won't keep you any longer than I have to. I hope everyone is doing well. COVID hit the family again. Isabella had her first birthday party 2 weeks ago, a week and a half ago. I guess this weekend it'll be 2 weeks ago. And it was like an Instagram party. Robin, even though she doesn't watch, she did a fabulous first birthday party with the help of my other daughter, Jennifer, and Jennifer's sister-in-law, best friend, and also best friend of Robin's. They helped her a lot. And it did look like an amazing Instagram party, and it had all these really pretty balloon arc, but it was like not your shiny balloons. They were kind of matte peach and grays and creams. It was just gorgeous. There's probably photos on my Instagram or Facebook, so in case you're interested. It was well attended, but there were family members who weren't able to be there because they had COVID, and they had been vaccinated, and one of them had just gotten her second vaccination shot, so it hadn't kicked in, but it was not as bad as her first case of it. But anyway, so that's the update. COVID continues to hit the fan. I think I told you about my family up in Tulsa got hit with it, and in Norman. Knock on wood. I don't hang out much anywhere, so I guess I'm dodging it, hopefully. Knock on wood. Anyway, so Isabella's party was great. She got tons of, Robin wanted some clothes. She got tons of clothes. I got her a new baby sack sleeping thing. They call it Sack the Baby. And they read her night-night story, and they put her in her, it's like a pillowcase, but it's got a zipper with her arms out, and it keeps her warm. It's fleece. And she had totally outgrown it. She is 30 inches long. Now this is, if you haven't watched my vlogs from last year, she was tiny when she was born. She has made up for anything that being tiny at birth. She is in the 80th percentile for height and 75th for weight, and she's not walking yet, but she is a power walk on her knees baby. And I was down on the floor, you know, playing with her, and she was just jumping around on her knees, and I actually got a video of that. It was really cute. And then it was so sweet. I was going to leave, and we were chatting out on the front lawn, and Robin was holding Isabella, and thank goodness another friend was standing there with a camera, and all of a sudden I feel this movement, and Isabella was lurching at me, and then I felt slobber, and Robin's like, oh my God, she's giving you goodbye kisses. And I'm like, get a camera. And my G name's Birdie, so she gave me 4 goodbye kisses. That made my whole day. Then on the exciting drive home, and I had absolutely nothing to drink. It was probably about 7 o'clock ish, and I'm driving, and it's a pretty busy street, and I'm trying to get back to the highway, and I look, and there is a bicyclist down on the ground, and there was a car that had stopped and was walking back to him. It didn't look like he had hit the fella, so I don't know if maybe he hit a rock and just fell himself. But it's like, okay, I'm almost on the highway. What do I do? What if nobody calls for help? Thinking somebody else has done it. So I called Jennifer. Robin didn't answer. I called Jennifer. I'm like, should I call 911? And she's like, yeah, Mom, go on and do it. So here I'm trying to call 911, driving on the highway, and on a cell phone they can't tell where you're located. So they asked what city I was in and where I was at, and so they had to transfer me, and that took like 5 or more minutes to get through to the 911 operator. But hopefully they got him help if he needed it. Hopefully he just had gotten startled, but it didn't look like a car had physically run over him. It looked like he just had a bicycle accident. And, you know, I'm used to being around cyclists, actual racers, and, you know, you can really, in fact, I had a really bad bicycle accident ages ago when the kids were little, but going really fast at White Rock Lake, and I think I skid like 5 feet on my hip bone and on my shoulder. And yeah, that was fun. Okay, so party went well. Everyone had fun. What else is going on? I just want to say one thing that happened recently, and just remind everyone how kindness is, I think, needed more now than ever. I was on a Facebook group, and I had posted, you know, you do introductions, post pictures, and, you know, I have varied interests, so it was varied, and I just updated it with adding a picture of Isabella and I. And I guess it threw it back into the notification of people and started getting new comments. And it hadn't been the best weekend. I'm sorry, I'm getting notifications. But, so I wasn't, in my happiest self. And I was reading the comments at a stoplight. Not while I was driving. I was stopped, guys. And there was a really mean-spirited comment from somebody I don't know, from Adam. It turns out she lives in Australia. And, but it was very snarky. It was not said in a spirit of, helpful criticism or whatever. But it just, sometimes it's just that last straw. And I'm a crier. I mean, I've cried on this channel many a time. But I was out running errands and I had to go home because I couldn't go into the store crying like I was. And, I wasn't going to comment. And then, other people in the forum, in the group, started saying, I can't believe you just said that. How mean. And they had some dialogue going on, and I didn't go back and read it, and I was going to bed, and I was thinking back on it, and it's like, okay, I'm trying to be, I don't like uncomfortable situations. Confrontations are not my thing. But it's like, over the past couple of years, I've somewhat learned to stand up for myself in a nice way. And I thought, okay, this probably isn't going to make any difference, but if I can get this person to maybe see it from a different viewpoint, maybe in the future going forward, she may think before she writes something that's mean-spirited to someone she does not even know and will never meet. And I think this is just paraphrasing, but basically it was like, I just said I wasn't going to comment, but I just thought I'd give you something to consider when leaving comments, that, I had said what a crappy time I had been having, and you just don't know what's going on in somebody's life. Have they had a breakup? Have they lost their job? Does their family all have COVID? Did somebody die? Bills to pay, don't have money. All kinds of things are happening to people in these extraordinary times. And it's like, what you put out as a flippant, mean comment, you think it's nothing, but it could be. And I said, if I'm going to impact somebody, I want it to be through kindness. And I'll be darned, and of course that's not the word I want to use right now, but she came back and she was like, that's your problem. That's not my problem. And I just like, oh my God, what is wrong with this person? Is she that unhappy inside that, it just has to be a confrontation? I would have, if someone said that I made them feel terrible and horrible and, upset them greatly because of, it was just kind of like a last straw, that I would do some self-reflection and change my behavior. Well, of course, other people got notified that she had responded, and some people just like, this woman's harassing you. She needs to be removed. And, I'm just not one to go and have someone bumped off a group. And this group is pretty stringent, no negativity. And so obviously someone contacted one of the admins, and poof, that whole she gone. And she's in another group I'm in. I'm like, oh my God, I hope she doesn't come after me, because I did not do that. But really, she was not a really nice person, at least on that day. But so that happened this week. And on the counterweight of that, my friend Patty, and I don't know if Patty watches, but hi Patty, she called me on, I think it was Saturday, and I think she was driving home, and she ended up sitting out in her parking lot talking to me for a good long time. And it's like I had been feeling really low that day, and you know, she called and just chatted like friends do. So if you feel that urge or like a fleeting thought that, oh, I need to check on somebody, why don't you do that? Sometimes it may be just what they need. And then I was watching the Cowboy game. Go Cowboys! I mean, was that not a super game? I know not everyone likes the Dallas Cowboys, but that was an amazing game. And there was someone from that forum that is a Facebook friend of mine, and she had IM'd me, and they were watching football. She lives in a totally different state, and again, never met them. And she said something about drinking some adult beverage, and I'm like, you know, I really don't need anything, a depressant right now. And anyway, she had a group of people at her house watching football. Of course, not the Cowboys, but there was one Cowboy fan there, and they did a conference call with me just to cheer me up, and have checked on me every day. And now I've got new friends up in another state that we will probably never meet, but are just the kindest, biggest, hardest people, if that's even a hardest, is that even a name or a word? But it's those, sorry, I keep on getting notifications. But it's those little acts of kindness that make such a difference in somebody's life. And so if you ever have an opportunity to just reach out to somebody, and it doesn't have to be a long conversation, just, hey, I was thinking about you, or just checking, are you okay? It might be just what they need to hear your little happy voice. Oh, there was another good thing. I think I talked about Tina Givens on my last vlog, and talked about her fabulous contest going on during the National Sewing Month, and that I was going to take you on my journey. I'm going to learn how to sew clothing. Really cool. These are couture clothes, but for people that are sewing for themselves that can't afford couture clothes. And very spunky, fun clothes. And anyway, she ended up seeing my post, and so I tagged it for her, so you know, people who follow her can maybe follow my vlog as I get going. Anyway, it was the last week that she was doing prizes, and lo and behold, I was chosen for the big prize. I got a sewing machine. And it's the sewing machine she's doing all her classes on. I mean, it was freaking amazing, and it got to me just as quick as ever. So I've downloaded the patterns, because I bought the membership and I can download them. I have to print them and cut them out. There's some specific patterns that are for the class, and I've got fabric that I've had for years that I need to just put on my big girl panties and do this. And I've been buying the supplies she said, and got a folding table that will help me set up so I can cut the fabric, and not have my pugnacious pug Hazel jump on there. And so I think I have about everything, and so I need to get going on that, because she's about to start a new workshop for fall, and it's a capsule wardrobe, which I've talked about, you know, in the past. So, oh, my arm is going to sleep. Anyway, I'm trying to think of anything else of note has happened. Oh, I did years ago, or a couple years ago, I made it's not quite it's a multicolored striped quilt. And it's not, I wouldn't call it rainbow, because there's different color pinks and there's different color blues and greens and yellows, and but it's like 2 of these jelly rolls. Anyone that's a quilter will know what a jelly roll is. And I thought, and it's just like a lap quilt, and it was easy to, someone strips together. And I machine quilted it myself, which was a feat on, trying to maneuver that on a home sewing machine. But I got to thinking, maybe just get my creative mojo going. I ordered, they still had, unbelievably, the jelly rolls available, and it's out of Kona cotton, really good quality cotton, and I think I may have enough just to make a full quilt for a full-size bed, just like a topper. And then I found some really cute backing fabric on sale that I ordered, and I don't know that I'll pick it up today because I'm on 3 hours sleep. I really am kind of tired, but it's sugar skulls. Anyone that, it's getting near Halloween, but I'm sorry, this is just driving me crazy. The last one was, colorful, every color sugar skull. And so I was looking something like that, something to pick up all the colors from the front of the quilt. Well, they had one with different dogs, sugar skulls. I'm like, perfect. There was one that I claim is a pug. Doesn't have the right nose, but it's got to be a pug. Now, they do have a bulldog on there, and a poodle, cute little poodle, and different ones. So if I get my mojo going and I actually get to doing something creative, whether it be watercoloring, painting, even doing a little color charts, color wheels, whatever. Oh, I did find, I've been trying to work through a bunch of stuff in my house, and I actually found, these little, they're the, like a baseball card size wooden paintings that I did the primitive portraits on, and one's a little bit bigger. It's not quite a 5x7. Actually, it's probably 3x4, I would think. Some of them are pretty darn good, so I'm thinking, hey, I may do that. I still have the acrylic paints, and then do some of the Danielle Donaldson watercolor animals, which are fun. And I just need to do it. It's, you get into a non-creative kind of bog down, and I just need something to get me going here. But anyway, I hope everyone is doing well. The holidays are upon us. It's finally cooling off. It's getting cool at night. I'm actually having to put on a pair of jeans and not go out in t-shirt and boxer shorts. And little Hazel's getting to be a little roly-poly, so I've got her running a little bit, which you can just imagine we're a sight. But yeah, she is pugnacious, that's for sure. And I'm still on my Weight Watchers mission. Last week was kind of crummy for me, so I did track everything. I think I only attended half a meeting, and that's just because where my head was at. But I'm still on that, and some favorite leaders, if you do the virtual workshops, Marlon Moss and, oh, what's her name? God, it's just, there's so many good ones. If you're interested, send me a Facebook message or comment on the vlog, and I'll look them up. Mercy D. And there's also Emily. There's just some really great ones. So anyway, I hope you and your family are doing well. And I actually think I have a live ballet class coming to me from Italy on Saturday. that I can attend because it's one of the courses I pay for. And so that's about everything up to date with me. And oh, I did do, going back to Weight Watchers, I did do a very hard thing. I think everyone, if you've watched any of my vlogs, you know, weight has been an issue, you know, body image, anorexia, weighing on the scales is horrific for me. And, you know, you end up doing all this work around, you know, to make it come out the way you want to. And it's like, okay, I am going with what Weight Watchers has kind of put into my mind, that it's just data. And every day is different because we retain water and different things of why we may weigh more one day than the other. And some lady said that she weighs the same thing every day. Now, how is that possible? I just can't imagine. Anyway, I have 3 scales. I picked the one that is the most consistent. What I was driving me crazy is standing on it, and every time I got on it, seconds apart, it would say something different. So I backed the truck up. I'm going with the scale I can count on and dealing with the real data. Anyway, so that's lifetime progress. I mean, lifetime mission is just a way of life. But that doesn't mean you can't live. That doesn't mean you can't have some wine sometime, or a piece of birthday cake or something. But anyway, please leave me comments. Cricket, hi. She always leaves me sweet comments. And Sue, I mean, I'm trying to think of her exactly so. And her name is Jen. I think I got that wrong. And I have several friends that are so sweet that drop me a line. So I really appreciate it. I read every one because there's really like one for each vlog I make. But anyway, so let me know how you're doing. Let me know what you're watching on TV, what football team you're pulling for. Are you a Cowboy fan? What about Dak and Negreat and Zeke and Trayvon Diggs? I'm watching all the football stuff now. And or college teams. What college teams are you following? Or high school? And are you doing any artistic projects? Tell me about those. Just share whatever's going on in your world, because it could spice up my life to read some of your comments and what's going on with you. Anyway, as I say at the end of this, peace out.